So I mentioned a kind of a book that I put together just a couple of, I think it was 2 years now, I think 2 years ago, for my dear friends Nimrod and Yaniv, who had become bar-mitzvah and were celebrating their bar-mitzvah. And maybe I can share it with you. Can you see? This is the cover. Here they are when they were a little bit younger. And yes. And here it says, some words and images I can share with you as you begin your lifelong journeys of ever more becoming B'nai Mitzvah. Some kind of a book for Nimrod and Yaniv HaYikarim Ad Ma'od. And then, yes, what does it say there? By, from your friend, Steve. And here's the first page. A drawing by the American Jewish artist Ben Shahn. And I write that along the side. It's called Many Things by Ben Shahn. To me it looks like molecules, something, but also the Sfirot of the Kabbalah. The condition of being a human in becoming, so too the question of Judaism, what it ought to become today and tomorrow, and the crisis of character we face here in our society that is Israel today, and what it will become tomorrow. Yeah, these pages for the book I gave them, I pasted them all together as a book, so there's really a binding, and then you turn the pages, in a regular way. But my copy, I haven't yet, taped them all, the pages together. All three of these, I guess, the condition of being a human in becoming, the question of Judaism, and the crisis of character we face here in our society that is Israel today, and what it will become tomorrow. There's three questions. All three of these are struggling a complicated array of confrontations. Here we are looking at ourselves, yes, such that what wisdom might I really be able to offer you, to share with you, dear Yaniv, dear Nimrod? This is the next page. The universe is so large, so vast, so beyond us, beyond belief. What advice, even suggestions for life, might I offer you? And then along the side, I have so vast, I repeat. And then along the side I write, oh ho! The scientists tell us that this light we see from the stars in these distant suns, like this one, are so far away that even by the speed of light, by the time some of them reach us, they have long ago burnt out. And all the others, scientists tell us that the nearest star is 4 million light years away. So that we are seeing it when it was, as it was, 4 million years ago. That's how long the light, even though it's traveling at the speed of light so unbelievably fast. It takes 4 million years for the light to get to us. And then I write along the side, a star, yes, which was a sun, around which a planet has been detected circling in the 1RXS 1609 solar system. That's what this is a picture of. Yes. Here's the next page. Another drawing by Ben Shahn called Mornings by the Sea. At the top, I write from one of Rachel Bluestein's. She's known just as Rachel from the second Aliyah. Yeah? I write from one of her poems, Rak alatzmi l'saper yadati. I only know how to tell about myself. I only know how to tell about myself. Think of that as a writer, as a teacher, as a friend. I can only tell you what I've come to know for myself. And then you tell me what you've come to know. And then I write from one of the poems of the second Aliyah pioneer, Rachel, and in parentheses her last name, Bluestein. So yes, all I can do is share something of what I have come to know as true. So yes, all I can do is share something of what I have come to know as true. But of course, it isn't just I, because I'm related to a whole tradition. And I probably say that a bit further on in some coming pages. Here's the next page. I can share with you something of what I have come to know as what really matters. Differences that I have come to know which can make some difference. And then I repeat, make some difference. And then I put it along the side that this is a painting, a watercolor by the Israeli artist Ofer Lalouche, entitled I Am God, Ani V'I Elohim. And here's my next page with one of my drawings, yes, of a person with his tefillin hand. Only about myself to tell do I know, have I come to know. Rak alatzmi l'saper yadati. But I have come to know it, come to know this that I share with you here, and have always shared with you from listening to the sea. It's not just, when I say that I have come to know, it's not just my own, alone, separate, only self. I have come to know from listening to the sea what I've come to know, and from everyone and everything whom I have met. Never by myself alone. Never by myself alone. So much that has called, that has spoken my name, addressing me, has been from Judaism, from the Jewish perspective, from the Jewish experience and Jewish reflection, interpretations upon that experience. I am always in relation with. I am always in relation with who and what is not me, is not yet me. A part of me, always in relation with who and what does not yet now, but can, might, and will concern me, command me. I am always in relation with who and what is not me, is not yet me. Yes. A part of me, always in relation with who and what does not yet now, but can, might, and will concern me, command me. Oh, here's another page. One of my drawings of the Buddha, the awakened one. He's not a god. He's a human being who came to a high degree of understanding about the spirit, about the ultimate, about what we should be doing with our lives. There are differences between Buddhism and, of course, there are different approaches within Buddhism, just like within Judaism, but there are differences. But I see it again as one of the parts of the section of the orchestra, with differences and similarities with some aspects of approaches to Judaism. Also, and then so I write here also. I love the word also. Also from our own other human cultures, traditions, experiences, I have listened, seen, been drawn toward, such as the story, the drama, the image of the Buddha. And then I have here, Klal Yisrael, I write. My belonging to Israel, the Jewish people. And then over here, as I learned from Rabbi Twersky, Isidore Yitzhak Twersky, Klal Ha'adam. We have the expression Klal Yisrael. We also belong to Klal Ha'adam. My belonging to humanity. To the all human. Remember the Rav Kook, Avraham Yitzchak HaKohen Kook's fourfold song, Shir HaMerubah, that I shared with you. And I write here, yes, such is the story, the drama, the image of the Buddha, who is a human being, who has become enlightened, has become awakened. And then I write here, how to how to become truly awake, at the bottom of my page 7. And then on page 8, another drawing of a Buddha that I made. Can you see how he is looking both outside of himself and inside, and deeply within his own depths of being and becoming? And this protrusion from the Buddha's head, when represented in stone or other visual depiction, symbolizes a light shining all around his head, kiviyachol, as it were, as if there is light round his head, a metaphor of his having become tremendously enlightened. And then there's the Buddha's big ears. The Buddha's big ears symbolize how incredibly receptive he was able to become. Which reminds me of another interpretation of the Rav Kook, that the Torah, he says, was always out there. It was always out there, because he says the divine doesn't change. The divine didn't one day say, oh, this would be a good time to give the Torah. Always the Torah is out there. Do not murder. Keep the Shabbat. Cease on the 7th day. Stop from everything else that you've been running around, mastering the universe, and which can be done in a good way too. But stop from all that. You don't have to prove yourself always. You don't by doing something, by creating, by succeeding, by changing the world. You can just leave it as it is and just be and sing and take walks with friends and etc. And so the Rav Kook says, but it took a person, Moshe, who he says isn't just a historical person, but is a metaphor for that which is in all of us. He calls it Kli HaKibul, a vessel of receptivity, an instrument of receptivity, of being able to Yes, be receptive, to be sensitive, to take in to hear the commandments, to hear the Torah, to grasp what is out there calling us. So he has big ears because he's receptive. And then at the bottom I write that, and the Buddha's slight smile, and Bichlal, his face is so calm, including all and everything. One place we can go to work, to explore, I'm reading from my next page. One place we can go to work, to explore, to practice our going, looking, examining within ourselves and our relations with others outside the workshops of our souls, our spirits, our deepest chambers, rooms of ourself, is in a place specifically designed and built for prayer, for contemplation, for meditation. And I drew, something of what that might look like inside such a place. Here's a picture. This is a photo, not that I've made, but a photo of Torah finials, so-called, Rimonim. These are gold, pierced, engraved sheet metal that's used for backing and put together in India, the Jewish community in India, sometime in the 18th, 19th century. And I actually have cut them out, made those big, and cut them out, and put them, life size, and put them in my window here. Here's one of them. Yeah. Here's, I don't know if you can see it with the light coming through the window. Here's another one. And then the next page, I have a picture from my apartment. Though not only the synagogue can be a place of calm where we can open and engage the workshops of our spirits, and there are other special places to us that we can be such places. I drew this when I was in Boston at Henry David Thoreau's Walden Pond. That's a leaf there on the ground in the middle. See? The woods can also be our sanctuary, a cathedral. This is a drawing of a tree that one of the two bar-mitzvah boys, young men, Nimrod, actually drew over at my place here in this very room when they came over with their parents and one of their visits with me. Put out a mural and we all on the floor and we all were drawing. Or just being near one tree, even one. And then this next page, Yaniv, his brother, drew the shadow of a tree. And I wrote in the Hebrew, I wrote in Silo Shel Etz. Or even just the shadow of a heartfelt tree. Or we can collect our thoughts and be inspired and clarify ourselves and transcend ourselves towards other than ourselves through an olive tree there that I drew in Kfar Saba, which is where they live in Israel. Kfar Saba, an olive tree. Or a lilac bush in Kfar Saba, which that I drew there. I don't know if you can see that. Even a lowly scrub bush in the Arava, Kibbutz Keturah, which they all know, the bar mitzvah boys and their family, was founded by fellow young Judeans after the Yom Kippur War. And this is a drawing I recently made there of one of these low bushes. Even a lowly scrub bush in the Arava. Yes, even only its shadow You can see kind of here, I tried to get its shadow. Can be a sanctuary, can become a revelation. Even autumn leaves, as they take their seasonal leave of us and of our fellow creatures. And then I have a picture of some of our fellow creatures that I've drawn. Our fellow creatures, among whom are the animals, who look to us, interrogating, who look to us. Remember our exercise before looking at Martin Buber on animals. Our fellow creatures, among whom are the animals who look to us, interrogating by their very glance, taking us into question. Whether we recognize, yes, and care for this common creaturehood. Whether we recognize and care for this fellowship of our creaturehood, the society of all creatures, the creature, all fellow creatures together, society or nation or fellowship. Here I've drawn some, we call them pigeons in English, but in Hebrew they're all called yonim, doves, on the orange tiled roof. My windows here overlook. There's one little sparrow here. The rest are doves. And they too, they turn their head towards us. They stretch their necks because they don't have what is it called, peripheral vision. So they go like this, and they're taking us in. They're looking at us. Here's a photo where I'm with the twins when they were very little, and their sister, Yanni, and we're reading a book on the floor of their apartment in Kfar Saba. Can you see? Prayer, meditation, contemplation asks, explores, rededicates us in the search, the clarification concerning what really matters. Sharing, friendship really matters. Here they are when they're a little bit younger, the twins. Friendship and joy really matters. Poteach et. Here I drew and was writing some words on one of my students' papers. Here's another drawing by the American Jewish artist Ben Shahn with a teaching from Hillel. Hu haya omer, im ein ani li, ukshani rak la'atzmi ma'ani, ve'im lo akshav ematai. Hillel was ever teaching, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, what? Who am I? And if not now, then when? And then I have this picture with this photograph with no words. And I have this photograph with no words. If I am only for myself, what am I? Oh, and then I have on this page, there are stories, there are heroes, special people, special teachers who are accompanying us always. Stories, heroes, teachers who accompany us, who never let us go, no matter what storms, what crises we face. Like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez. Like Ian Frank. Like Janusz Korczak, who kids in Israel know about. In fact, the twins, Yaniv and Nimrod, go to a school. The school they go to is named after Janusz Korczak. Here's Janusz Korczak, here played by the actor Wojciech Żaniuk in Andrzej Wajda's film, Korczak. Here I have that photograph on my desk. Here's Virginia Woolf. Well, Virginia Woolf, again, as played by the actress Nicole Kidman in the film The Hours. And here I have from Virginia Woolf's last letter to her husband and friend Leonard Woolf, a Jew, very similar Jew. Dear Leonard, to look life in the face, always to look life in the face, and to know what it is, to love it for what it is, at last to know it, to love it for what it is. Or as Maimonides says over and over again in the Guide for the Perplexed, reality as it really is, not as we want it to be. And here is Maimonides, the picture over my desk. One of my drawings of Maimonides, a Rambam. And here is a self-portrait by Vincent van Gogh. The original is actually in Boston, at one of Harvard's museums, the Fogg Museum. Oh, and here's James Levine conducting the Boston Symphony Orchestra with the Israeli, Argentinian, American, I guess, Daniel Barenboim at the piano. And Dmitri Shostakovich. Do you know how he risked himself and his on behalf of Jews under Stalin? Even took one Jewish couple, conductor, music person, into their apartment. The Shostakoviches did. Johann Sebastian Bach. Martha Graham is among our teachers, among mine. The Reverend Martin Luther King. Rabbi Professor Abraham Joshua Heschel, Rabbi Professor Yitzhak Persky, and his father-in-law, Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik. I just have 2 more pages. Next to the last page. This is Israeli artist Asher Babad's work, untitled, from the series of several works called According to the Baal Shem Tov Stories. And here I'm just being silly, the last page. One time when they visited me, Nimrod forgot a white shirt of his. So when they came another time, I set up the white shirt on the sofa, and I made hands out of cardboard, and I put them into the shirt, and then I put a book, leaning up there, and then I put a drawing of a Roman bust, Greek bust from the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, drawing of mine, and I put that as the head inside the neck of the shirt, and in the pocket I put one, this photo of them when they were younger. And so when they came in, there was sitting on the sofa. And I think on the back page, I put a drawing by their sister, their younger sister, Mayani, her drawing of me. And here she is. What book would you make for a bar mitzvah? For a bat mitzvah? What book would you make? If you had some teachers, a section with your heroes, some teachers, who are your teachers? Would it be a lilac bush? Would it be which rabbi, which writer? Would they all be Jewish? Would they be also some non-Jews? Who would they be? Again, thanks for being with me. Thanks beyond words.